Looks like the ATF took another loss after illegally seizing forced reset triggers just a couple years ago. Recently, Judge Reed O'Connor from the Northern District of Texas made an important ruling. Forced reset triggers are not machine guns. This is great news for gun owners because it means the ATF has been wrong to seize these triggers. The judge's decision stops the ATF from treating FRTs as illegal while the government appeals the case. So what is a FRT for those who don't know? A forced reset trigger, or FRT, is a type of firearm trigger mechanism that resets itself after each shot. Unlike a standard semi-automatic trigger, where the shooter manually releases the trigger to reset it for the next shot, an FRT forces the trigger forward automatically after firing. So now the shooter only has to keep pulling the trigger back every time versus letting it go forward and then pulling it back. Now, why did the ATF seize these triggers and make them illegal in the first place? And when did this start? The big bad ATF began taking action against forced reset triggers in July of 2021 when it served rare breed triggers with a cease and desist order to stop selling their FRT-15 trigger. Then on March 25th, 2022, the ATF issued an open letter to all FFLs regarding FRTs. Then in 2023, the ATF determined that the FRT-15 was an illegal machine gun device. The ATF classifies FRTs as machine guns because they allow a weapon to shoot multiple times without manual reloading. The National Firearms Act, or NFA, limits possession of machine guns to military and law enforcement organizations. But at the same time, the NFA defines machine gun to include any combination of parts designed and intended for use in converting a weapon to shoot automatically more than one shot without manual reloading by a single function of a trigger. So by definition of these words, by a single function of the trigger, this makes FRTs legal because you have to keep pulling the trigger on every shot rather than only once like a fully automatic machine gun. So what does this ruling actually mean? Judge O'Connor's ruling says that the court's protection of FRTs will stay in place while the government appeals to the Fifth Circuit Court. However, the judge did give the ATF more time, until February 22nd, to do two things: return all the seized triggers and send notices to people whose FRTs were taken. Let us know in the comments if you know someone who had their FRT taken away. The judge made it clear that this is not a delay of the court's ruling, just an extension to give the ATF more time to comply. So how do you get your FRT back? If you're a member of the National Association for Gun Rights or Texas Gun Rights, or if you bought your trigger from a business member of either group, you can get your seized trigger back by following these steps. Directions are in the description below. And once your email is sent, they will make a list of people affected and work with lawyers to demand the return of your trigger on a weekly basis. So where do we go from here? The ATF has appealed the court's ruling to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. According to Hannah Hill, who is helping with the case, the ATF's arguments are weak and have already been dismissed by courts before. They are using similar arguments from the Cargill case where the ATF lost when they tried to ban bump stocks by claiming they were machine guns. The same legal rules that applied to bump stocks also apply to FRTs. Hill says that because of these past rulings, the ATF doesn't have much of a case. Even the Chevron deference rule, which gave federal agencies the ability to broadly interpret laws, was recently limited by the Supreme Court, making the ATF's position even weaker. So what's next? The lawyers representing rare breed triggers and the National Association for Gun Rights are confident that the Fifth Circuit Court will rule in their favor again. If the ATF loses, it's likely that they will try to take the case to the Supreme Court. For now, the next steps involve filing responses to the ATF's appeal and waiting for an oral argument date in the Fifth Circuit. And to stay updated on this case, please subscribe and comment below. How many court cases has the ATF lost this year? Sure seems like a lot.
Did you know we have a secret gun giveaway going on right now you can enter for free? But it ends really soon. Just click the link in the description below to reveal which brand new gun you could win.